Hi, everyone, and welcome to Drinks with Deb. I've been talking about doing a video and starting to create a YouTube presence for about 2 years now. Um, but a few things. I just got super busy getting into eBay, selling used products on eBay, things that I find at thrift stores and garage sales and so on. So that's taken a lot of my time. I'm also a part-time bartender. And so that takes some of my time. And being a bartender, sleep management is also a big priority. So I have to be cognizant of that as well. But I came up with the idea a couple years ago, and both my daughters got excited for me. My oldest daughter actually made a logo for me. It was so cute. And then my middle daughter was really encouraging, and she told her friends about it, and her friends were encouraging, and my sister's been encouraging, my nephew, my niece. But I just, for whatever reason, haven't gotten to it. I think partly too, I'm a little trepidatious, just, putting myself out there, opening things up for criticism or whatever. I just don't know what to expect. So that's held me back too. But finally, here I am. I think I've got the eBay thing under control. So I'm going to actually combine both ideas. I'm going to start with this video, which I'm calling eBay Home Runs, and it's going to showcase, I don't know, 8 or 10 of the items that I've resold on eBay and made a huge profit with. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to teach you guys how to make an espresso martini. So there we go. And here I am. And let's see how it goes. I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm excited. I'm finally into it. All right, so let's get started. So the first item I wanted to share with you is a painting that I found at an estate sale. I actually found three different ones by the same artist. Uh, I was at this estate sale on a Sunday, which many times the estate sale will be half off on Sundays. So I found these. They were each $20. They were hanging on the wall, and I thought they were interesting, but I didn't have any service inside the house, so I had to take some pictures and go outside and do a Google image search. And I'm so glad I did, because what I found was that there was some money in these. They are by an artist named James Christensen, who passed away several years ago. And I believe that many times artists' works are more valuable after they pass away. So, which is sort of unfortunate. But anyway, I did pick them up. They were all three framed, and I paid $10 each. Now, they all sold for about the same price. So one sold a little less and one sold a little more. So for the $10 investment for each one, you can see I made 400 plus minus on each one. So that's about a $1,200 sale on a $30 investment. So I was thrilled about that. I'm going to put up some screenshots of other types of his work so you can see what to look for. Generally, it's got this sort of comic feel to it. He does do some biblical artwork that's quite beautiful, so I'll throw a little bit of that up there as well. And I think the biblical pieces are even a little bit more valuable than the sort of comic style that he does. Now, these were numbered, meaning I believe that he only made a certain amount of these, so I'm sure that might have helped with the value. Either way, I just was thrilled to find them at such a great price and to turn it into such a nice profit for myself. Okay, this next item I got at a garage sale about a year ago or so. It took a little time to sell them, but it was worth it. These were actually, it was a really hot day, I remember that, and there was a lady in her driveway trying to finish up her garage, so I think it was the second day of it. And she had these marked at $20 each. And I knew I couldn't pay that, so I said thanks, but no thanks. I usually don't do a lot of negotiating at garage sales just because I know it's a lot of work for everybody to, put their stuff out and be there all day. So I was ready to leave, and I think she just wanted to get rid of them. So she said, "Well, would you do $20 for all of them?" So I was like, "Sure." So I grabbed them and had to store them in my shed for a little bit, but they did eventually sell for a great profit for a $20 investment. A little bit of work to ship. Fortunately, they were all in their own box. I just had to find a bigger box that would, I could stack all the boxes in. Not a lot of packing material had to be used. A little expensive to ship, but you can see what I charged, so I covered myself just fine. So yeah, always look around for these. I guess they don't make them anymore. Okay, Patagonia. I always pick up Patagonia, especially something like this that looks old or vintage, or just sort of different. So I grabbed this. This was actually in Modesto at a thrift store there. I forget the name of it. But my sister and I traveled to Modesto after watching a video by Matt. Boy, I can't remember the name of his YouTube name, but his girlfriend or wife, Kayla, I think she's called Homeschool Flipper. They have great videos either way. Anyway, he used to go to Modesto apparently and do thrifting there. They have great thrift stores, very cheap. The Goodwills are so cheap there, but it's a jaunt for us anyway. So we did have to spend the night, but we got a lot of product. And I remember specifically, this was priced so weird. It was $29.73. Don't ask why. But anyway, I did buy it, and you can see I got a huge profit on it. So always look for Patagonia. During this portion of the slide, I'm going to throw on some clips of Patagonia items that have sold for big profit. Not my products, but different eBayers products that have sold. And you can see how much value there is. It seems as though the older products are what sells really well, but I think new stuff, you can do really well with too. I just always pick it up. Okay, Ralph Lauren. I could do a whole video on Ralph Lauren. Seriously, I buy so much Ralph Lauren product. Mostly linens and sheets, comforters, pillowcases, curtains, tablecloths, napkins, comforters. Some of the older retired Ralph Lauren linens bring in big money. There's patterns like Allison, Sophie Brooke, Kimberly, they just bring in huge amounts of money, especially if they're brand new. But even used, they're worth picking up. So in this case, I actually found these lunch plates. I think I got 8 of them and maybe 4 cereal bowls of this pattern. And you can see for the 4 bowls, I think I sold them, I don't have my glasses on, for 160 or something. Um, and they were lunch size. I mean, who knew? So always pick up these Ralph Lauren dishes or Ralph Lauren linens. I even have sold Ralph Lauren Martini glasses. Oh, and they make rocks glasses too. I don't know if they still do or not, but my sister's made big money on rocks glasses by Ralph Lauren as well. These were actually brand new with the tags, and I'm pretty sure I paid $2 a piece for them. So huge profit margin. Okay, this I didn't pay anything for. My neighbor Marilyn, she knows that I sell on eBay, so she actually got this for me and just gave it to me. So I think I actually undersold it. I had never heard of this product before, and I think it's pronounced Klipsch, something like that. Either way, I did some research, and the speakers, especially some of the speakers, go for big money. And I'll throw up some screenshots so you can see what they've sold for. Again, not mine, just other eBayers, but I just wanted to give you an idea on what you can expect if you find some of these products. So this wasn't a huge profit, although it was a great profit because I didn't pay anything for it, but I probably could have gotten a little bit more for it, but live and learn, and now I know. Okay, this I got for $2 at the bins, the Goodwill bins, which is basically the outlet center for the Goodwills here in Northern California. There's 4 of them that my sister and I go to. One of them is only 10 minutes from my house, so I go there probably 2 to 4 days a week, and I get about 85% of my product there. They sell items at the one by my house by the pound, which they do at I think most other bins. But the difference with mine is that they only sell the textiles, linens, clothes, um, shoes, purses, and hats. Those are by the pound. I think it's 3.49 a pound. The ones we go to in Sacramento are a little cheaper. I think it's 1.79 or 1.99 a pound. But that's for everything. Now, the one I go to close to my house is, um, like I said, the cloth items are by the pound, but the regular hard goods like books and games and dishes, I mean, whatever, toys, all of those, they just sell it by the bag. So my sister and I have those big giant blue IKEA bags. A lot of people use them for the post office. Anyway, we bring those and fill them up, and they'll charge me, like $2 to $5 for a whole bag of stuff. And this was in there. They actually I'm sorry, that's incorrect on this one. They actually charged me $2 for the set. It didn't fit in my bag. So it was sort of a separate item. But $2, and all it was the Carrera tracks and accessories. Had none of the slot cars. The slot cars can sell for pretty good money as well. But that was it. $2 into 220. I was thrilled about that. Okay, perfume and colognes. Even makeup, lotions, any personal care products, as long as they're not expired and they are full and unused, then I will pick those up for resale. There's a thrift store in a town called Vallejo, which is about an hour from me or so, and they on Tuesdays they have a new tag sale, and one tag color is 75% off, one is 50 and one's 25. So I try to go on Tuesdays, not that often. I don't make it very often. But anyway, when I do, I try to get the 75 and 50% off tagged items. And at this particular store, they actually bag things up and sell a whole bag of products such as this for like $4.99 minus 75 or 50%. So this was in one of those bags with some other stuff that I think I sold as well. I can't remember exactly, but this one, look what it sold for. And I paid maybe, 50 cents for it. So the bags at this particular store are really valuable. There's also some savers thrift stores in Northern California that are in the Silicon Valley area. One is in either Vacaville or Fairfield, I can't remember. And they sell a lot of the bagged items too. So worth going. Savers doesn't run sales and they can be pretty high, but this one in Vallejo, it's called Eco Thrift. And I think there's one or two in Sacramento as well. So we're checking out. Okay, this one blew me away. I found this at a thrift store in my town that is 40% off for seniors on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So I always go there on Mondays since I'm a senior. And I found this part of an Apple computer. It was just the cube enclosure. It had no computer components in it at all. It was just the cube. And look what I sold it for. I could not believe it. So there's a great lesson. Old Apple products. I kind of knew they would sell well, but I didn't expect to get this kind of money for just a plastic cube. So I was thrilled though. Okay, this saddle again from the same store I got the computer cube at, actually, the 40% off on senior day. So I think this was either 24.99 or 29.99 minus 40%. It did take a little bit of time to sell, maybe 3 or 4 months, but I made the sale and made a great profit. The only thing about products like this is that it's a lot of space to store them. When you sell at a high level, not saying I sell at a high level, but I do have almost 2,500 items for sale right now. And I dedicate a room and a half to eBay storage plus my shed. So, plus I have stuff like in different cubbies and scattered throughout the house. So it's a lot to store big items like this. I would like to think I could get away from selling big items just because of that reason, but the profit is just too high in them that it's hard for me to pass it up. I am trying to get more into clothes because they don't take up much room after you take your pictures, wash them, take your pictures, measure them, fold them up, and put them in a little bag. I can have thousands of clothes in my 2 or 1.5 rooms for sale. So some I'm thinking about. I definitely focus a lot on linens. Love doing linens. Love it. They are a little bit of work to list. Just because you got to wash them and measure them and inspect them carefully for stains and rips, but they sell for a pretty good profit. And the price on them is standardized at the Goodwills here in California. So, or the ones in my area anyway. So pillowcases are usually $1, sheets are usually $3. Duvets are $10, a little high, but I can certainly get pretty good money for some of them. So it's worth the time. And then when you sell it, you just throw it in a poly bag, throw the label on, you're done. No styrofoam, no bubble wrap, no effort with shipping the item. So that saves a lot of time. Okay, these I got at the bins, and it was in one of my IKEA bags with probably 30 other items in it, and they charged me probably $2 to $5 for the whole bag. So maybe I have 25 cents invested into each of these little angels, and I got $100. Took a while to sell. I think I got them in May or something. They just sold, and here we are in October. So I know they sold because we're getting closer to the holidays. So I was great. It was great to sell them. I did go to the effort of making a video of them while they were playing, doing their little dancing and the music and everything, so that the customers could see that they actually do work. So that was a worthwhile investment. It took a little effort, but I'm glad I did it because I think it helped sell the product. Okay, these I got at a rummage sale that I was just driving by. I wasn't going to a garage sales or anything. I don't know why. I just happened to see a sign for a rummage sale, so I went. It was at a church, and I found these. I actually found quite a few things there, but this was the big seller. They had these pots and pans, which I'd never heard of, used obviously, and they were $10 a pan or $30 for the set. So I bought the set for 30 bucks and turned it into like 170. So I was thrilled about that. Another big item to have to store, and shipping was kind of a pain. I wanted to wrap each of the 8 separate pieces carefully so that they didn't scratch each other. So it took some time to ship them and to pack them, and it was costly to ship them as well. But I did cover myself. You can see by the shipping cost. I think I actually made a little bit of profit on the shipping, not much. I don't try to do that. I just want to cover my cost. So definitely a new brand I found out about, and I'll keep looking for. And that's what's one of the funnest things about eBay is that I'm always, 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 always learning. It's never ending, and things trend in and trend out. So it's just constant learning, and it never gets boring, let me tell you that. Okay, here we are on one of my favorite categories, linens. And this is a brand I just learned about 6 months ago. I found this at a thrift store in Sonoma, California, actually, on my way to my place of employment, and just stopped there for like 5 minutes and found this brand. Um, Fortunately, I was actually feeling the linens as I was looking through them. I can often tell by feel if it's quality or not because the look of this was nothing to me. I wouldn't have picked it up had I not felt it. I thought it was kind of boring, but apparently Pratesi, Pratesi, is an Italian linen company, and most of their products are made with Egyptian cotton. Now they do also sell towels, which are really pretty. I'll throw a picture of one up for you. Um, and I paid, the duvet was $10 and the pillow shams were $1 each. So I have a $12 investment into this, and I got 300. So I was so happy about that. It did take a little while to sell. I don't think the pattern's super attractive, but apparently high quality and someone wanted it. And then about 3 months later, I was at the bins and found another Protesi brand linen. It was just a flat sheet. Yeah, it was pink, kind of pretty, said Pertesi on it. Nothing exciting about it. And I sold it for 79 bucks. And I got it at the bins. I think I paid maybe 2 bucks for it. So definitely a brand that I'm happy to learn about, and you definitely want to keep an eye out for if you happen to consider selling on eBay. Okay, now it's time for the cocktail portion of my video, hence the name Drinks with Deb. So like I said, I'm going to make an espresso martini for you, the traditional style, which doesn't have any Baileys or chocolate or creme de cacao in it. So let's get started. So I like to use vanilla vodka. Not my favorite brand, but I like Absolute a lot better, actually. But vanilla, I think, just gives it a little bit of extra flavor. Certainly use regular vodka if that's all you have. Nothing wrong with that. So I add 2 ounces of vodka to my martini, and then I'll pour that in my mixing glass. And then Kahlua, of course, or you can use Mr. Black. I know there's a lot of bartenders that like Mr. Black. We don't have that at the bar I work at, and I've never seen it, so I don't have any experience with it. So I've always used Kahlua, and then I add an ounce of Kahlua. And then the last ingredient that I add is a shot or 1 ounce of espresso. So this is actually, I'm cheating. I don't have an espresso maker, so I actually am just using leftover coffee from this morning's coffee. So it won't be as dark as it normally is, but definitely try to use fresh espresso. Or I think you can buy like cold brew espresso or something that might work well. But make sure you get one that doesn't have any flavoring in it or any additives. Just straight espresso, I think, makes the best espresso martini. So I'll dump in that old coffee. pretending to be espresso. And give me 1 minute. I got to go get ice from my ice machine. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I don't have any fancy bartender ice. I just get the ice from my refrigerator, my freezer's ice machine. So I like to fill it up to the top because you want to give this a really nice shake. Not only to get that extra ounce of fluid in there to sort of balance out the cocktail, but also you want to get that nice foam top for the top of that espresso martini, which you'll see when I strain it into the glass. So grab your old tin and then just give it a super good shake. All right, there we go. Now, I got this cute little martini glass at a thrift store. I thought it was so cute. And so now, I'm actually using a whiskey strainer. I can't find my other one. Just strain that right into the martini glass. And you'll see at the end there, we're going to get all that nice foam on the top, which gives it kind of a layered look. It makes it pretty. And then what I usually do at work is I put 3 espresso beans on top and serve it that way. I don't have espresso beans here, so I'm just going to put some ground beans onto there like so. Let me see if I can get a shot of that. Whoopsie daisy. Hold on. Let's spill it all over. There. Can you kind of see that? The top of that with the foam and then the espresso, ground espresso on top. So anyways, that is that. That's my first video. And I hope you guys liked it. I hope some people might take some time to watch it, and we'll see where it goes. I'm going to keep giving it a try, and if anybody has any special content they'd like to see, or certain types of drinks, or any bartending knowledge I can share, please let me know. I've been bartending for about 10 years now here in Northern California. I do know a bit about wines as well. So any questions or comments or suggestions, I'd really appreciate it. All right, so thanks to anyone out there who might have come across this, and I will be releasing another video on Wednesday. Today is Sunday, and my goal is to release videos both on Sundays and Wednesdays. And then with little, bits and pieces of things in between on social media. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Deb. The station is called Drinks with Deb, and I hope you enjoyed it. All right, bye.